All right, you're welcome back. It's still Journalist Hangouts. Let's move straight to our final conversation. There are moments when global markets reveal how deeply they are tied to the language of diplomacy rather than the mechanics of production. That reality surfaced as oil prices climbed after reports that President Donald Trump dismissed Iran's counter demands in sensitive geopolitical negotiations. President Trump's rejection of Tehran's demands triggered a jump in Brent crude, the international benchmark for oil prices, by as much as 4% on Monday to $105.50 per barrel, before easing back to settle at $103.50 per barrel. The developments added fresh uncertainty to already fragile discussions over sanctions, relief and nuclear-related negotiations, prompting traders' response by adjusting pricing models to account for possible constraints on Iranian crude reaching global markets. Okay, GKB, first of all, President Donald Trump's rejection of Iran's counter demands. Talk to me, what does this signal, first of all?
It shows that the American foreign policy is not embedded in the reality of all the statuses. Because when Trump came in after Obama, there was a deal in place with Iran that people thought was the fairest in a generation. He tore up the agreement. But with the way the war went, especially public opinions in the US, now it's looking like they are going back, maybe not the same words, to something similar. Because it was not the position of Iran was at the beginning of the war.
Before the killing of their leader?
That they are now. They've shown the world that they have the resilience, they have the staying power. As Secretary Barrister would say, Alagidi Loga Alagbara is the stubborn man that's the boss of the strong man. Because you can't threaten to kill somebody who's willing to die. Yes. You understand? So America is caught in a quagmire. Now, Trump is essentially a businessman. He knows how this goes. The market is volatile anyway, even before the Iran war. And it's going to get worse with the exit of some people from OPEC. Yes. A lot of people are going solo. So the role that OPEC used to play, basically to keep the price down, is out of the window now. So if people think this particular price will remain stable, it's not going to work. Because a lot of people are going rogue, including UAE.
UAE especially.
So my fear is that, just like the topic we started with, we as a nation must find a way to protect ourselves and our people from the volatility that is happening in the market. This war is not going to end soon. It's going to stop, it's going to start, nothing will really be achieved. Because, like I said, Iran has realized that they hold the jugular. And when you hold somebody by the balls, it's up to you to decide how much you want to squeeze.
Okay. I mean, BK, oil price rising by as much as 4% here in Nigeria. What can the government do to cushion this effect right now?
Except one of the things that can be done is to invest in transportation.
Okay.
Big countries of the world subsidize transportation. So that's something that our government needs to consider. And when I say subsidized transportation, I'm not referring to CNG.
Oh, really? Yes, what are you referring to?
Yeah, the government can bring in high-capacity buses.
And put a cap.
Yes. Already, the governor of Borno State is doing that. It's 50 naira per ride. They brought in buses that run on electric buses, electric-fired buses and cars. 50 naira per ride. I'm not saying in an expensive place like Lagos that you should take 50 naira, but you have to do something. We can't control because it's clear that both the Iranians and the president of America
and Israel,
by the way they are talking, they've gone mad. They are inflicting pains on the rest of us. For example, the Iranians said Trump should agree to the recognition of sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. Should agree to Iran's sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. A release of frozen Iranian assets as well as lifting of sanctions. An end to fighting on all fronts, including in Lebanon. They refuse to mention the nuclear.
Yeah, that part.
Yes. Meanwhile, this was what triggered the war in the first place. The U.S. does not want Iran to have nuclear capability. The U.S. continues to say that Iran can't have nuclear weapons and cannot hold the world's economy hostage. But Iran is holding the world's economy hostage now by closing the Strait of Hormuz. Well, the rest of us, we are suffering. Today now, in the Lagos area, it's almost 1,400 per liter. Meanwhile, it was a little over 700 before the war.
Yeah, not talking about diesel.
Yeah, diesel now is about 19 something in my area. So how do people survive this? We did not tell them to go to war. They did not consult us in going to war. But the madness, we are all suffering from the madness. I don't know how to explain this. So somehow they've got to find a way. And if all of these conditions, both countries are refusing to yield, so the war will most likely resume. But I think the Iranians are trying to push so that they can inflict a political damage, because they know that midterm elections are coming.
Yeah, November.
It's not, they cannot, in an all-out war, Iran cannot stand up to America. It can't even defeat Israel. Because it's not, to win a war, you need to do more than simply sending missiles. They don't have that capability to defeat either Israel or America.
So they have to go the route of economy.
So this economy that they are holding on to this Strait of Hormuz to make all of us suffer. Maybe that suffering and rising gas prices in the U.S. will force
the hands of America.
Yes, but what would they then tell these people if no concession, not a single concession was made?
All right, GKB, oil prices rising. What can the government do to cushion the shock, the pressure on Nigerians?
Actually, I have this theory that I don't even know where to go. With the attachment of the NURTW, the role they play within the context of politics of Lagos, I still don't know why they cannot do something out of their own good acts to help the government that they said are friendly with them.
Do something like what? Reduce their tickets?
Reduce the ticket,
or
put
just
a cap on it.
Put a cap on the tickets.
So tell your members, fine, but you can't charge more than this for Oshodi, Tabuleba. You can't charge. I don't want government to force them.
But they should do it on their own.
Because they are, as you and I know, they are very close to the government of the day. And they've enjoyed that level.
That's a beautiful idea.
That's what I thought. I thought that the role of
even for motorcycle riders, keke, and all of it.
These are people that enjoy things from the government.
All right.
To wake up one morning and say,
I think it's a fine place for us to leave it. GKB.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having this conversation with us. BKO, congratulations to Arsenal yesterday.
Yeah,
we are going to win it.
Our cup is there.
True confession, I wasn't so happy with the game, but it's fine.
Lagos, yeah.
And that's it, journalist.